I talk often about the politics of cruelty of Donald Trump and how many of his supporters like that. This idea of getting back at the blacks and getting the gays and all that. And I talk often about how that's not policy. That's just hate and cruelty. There have been officers in Charlotte McRae Police Department, who have gotten sick with COVID and had to go off, you know. And I really see the posts, their blog, and there's cops on there talking about how they want Trump to be reelected. And it gets me because here you are, forget your politics for a second. You have a president that has downplayed COVID-19 from the very beginning, done everything he could to ignore it. He's actually, not only that, taking resources from local agencies, masks and gowns, and then he brings them to have an auction, and a lot of that shit goes back out of the country. Yeah. And so, here you have these cops out here exposed on the very front lines. They're not just like me working. They're actually having to fight people. They're having to go into houses. You know what I mean? They're having to go into environments without plan. When I go to work, when I go in the office, I put my mask on, right? You know, I do certain things, prepare myself. Cops don't always have the opportunity to do so. That's a job where sometimes it's like that. And so it's amazing to me as a police officer, you are on the very front lines. You know, if this thing mutates, these cops are going to be on the front lines of that. If they get sick, they get hurt, they have to go to the hospital, they could be somehow infected by that. You know, if it mutates, second wave, whatever. And it's amazing to me that these cops know that better than I do, but yet they still want to re-elect Donald Trump. That's how you know that this politics is a politics of cruelty and a philosophy of oppression. It's not one of policy. It's not about, well, let's support Trump because he's going to put forward a better form of health insurance. No, I'm sorry. It's not about that. It's about revenge and getting back at people. And it reminds me of The Godfather. It reminds me of all those old-timey gangster movies, how your want for revenge winds up getting you killed in the end. That, to me, is what those cops are. That's what they represent to me, is that ideology. It's a siege mentality. The blacks are at war with us. No one understands us. People want to defund the police, so they hate the police. You know, and I've talked to you guys many times before about how we're about to go into austerity. We're about to go into austerity here in a minute. You know what that means? Everybody's about to face austerity. Everybody's going to have cuts, education and such. And police are the only one who are getting increases. You know? It's a siege mentality. And reading Cedar Post has really helped to really, you know, prove the point to me at least, that these cops, they work in communities they have nothing in common with. It's like me going out here to Rock Hill and Fort Mill. Like, they have nothing in common with these people. You know, like these jokes and stuff, they're not funny. You know? It's to me, this stuff is not funny. It's sad. You know, and then you wonder why people want to defund you, because you are a walking, talking oppressor. If you're living in a community that's economically disadvantaged and you just don't care, you have no connection to the community, you don't care about the community, you're just making $1, I think it's time you can be an oppressor. We saw this in Ferguson, you know, how they were leaning on the communities to make their money, you know. We saw this idea of sitting people up with tickets so they can get warrants so you can lock them up later on. I mean, like, I don't understand someone who thinks like that. There's bad people out here, but it's a siege mentality, and it's a mentality that just, they're out of touch with reality. They're like a man on drugs that just, he's in his own little world, and we're out here working and scraping to get by, and he's just like, the pretty lights, you know. That's how I see these cops. So I don't hate them. I don't have hatred for them. I think it's sad because these cops get sick. You know what I mean? And it's amazing to me that as a police officer, knowing you've had officers in your department get sick, I would think as a cop, that would make you want to wear masks. That would make you be like, yo, I need to follow this disease. I want to be... No! These fucking rednecks are so fucking... But once again, the politics of cruelty. The politics of cruelty. It doesn't have to make sense. It's not based upon logic and reason. It's based upon how cruel can Trump be, and how can he keep those blacks in place, keep them gays in the closet, and you abuse them Mexicans and throw them back across the border. That's it. Peace.